Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of
A BJJ Marriage, where we talk about our lives as a married jiu-jitsu couple. No, he normally sings. Sometimes he rolls backwards into it.
Yeah, you should have rolled back, but I got you.
For the first 10 episodes, he kept trying to say, we need a theme song. And I was like, you're not going to be singing it. So then he actually came up with an intro song for the
I made a theme song.
You really do need a theme song.
Yeah.
We have one now. It's way better than when Nick was singing.
Yep. It matches every time.
All right. Well, hello, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of BJJ Marriage.
35 now, so that's kind of crazy.
Yes, we have special guest, Grabiel Meza.
Buenos dias.
Wow. That was a terrible Spanish accent. Terrible.
He at least tried. Most people would just be like, so I give him credit for that.
Yeah, I'm learning Portuguese, not Spanish.
Everyone just calls you Gabe, though, because it's easier than Grabiel. But
yeah, like I said, most people don't want to try.
Yeah.
I give it an effort, a solid try.
White boy.
Yeah, Gabe is our resident Muay Thai coach and instructor, and kicks our ass every Tuesday and Thursday. Mm-hmm. And we're very grateful for him, so we're excited to have him on the show.
So much to the point that my hair sweats. I didn't know it was possible for my hair to sweat. But every time we're doing those stupid knees on the wall, I'm looking down and my hair is just dripping. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
I do offer to shave your head every time, though.
You know, lots of people have. There's a lot of times that people are like, you should just cut off all of your hair. Because my hair is down to my waist. And they're just like, well, if you didn't have hair, it wouldn't be so much work to have to put it up every time. And I'm like, okay, screw you.
I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah, me too.
Nope. I've had long hair since I was probably 3 years old. I've never cut it short.
Good for you. Mm-hmm. With dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've shaved my head since I was 12 or 13.
Just completely bald?
Completely bald.
How come?
Good for you. That's dedication.
See? Yes.
Did you just not like your hairline? Or you just felt it made you look more like a badass? Or what? Getting you ready for those street fights?
Things pretty much.
Okay.
Things from back in the day that kind of dictated what I had to do with my hair, so.
Very cool. All right, well, before we jump into more of the Muay Thai stuff, let's talk about your day yesterday.
Yesterday was Saturday, and we got up early, drove to Chicago.
Stupid Chicago. I hate Illinois. If you're from Illinois, you're
Fibs.
living in a stupid state.
I didn't say that. Sorry.
Stop.
No, but yeah, we had Grappling Industry Chicago yesterday, and I had a good day of competition.
Woo!
Yep.
Woo-woo!
Awesome.
Unlike
Check it out.
Time.
I got 2 gold medals.
They're heavy.
They're
Did you feel them?
Oh, shit.
they're way heavier than I expected them
This
to
is
be.
a good weapon.
Right.
Bang!
Jeez.
This is real. This isn't no plastic shit.
Yep.
Yeah, they give out some nice medals. This is just probably the heaviest one we've ever seen.
That's nice.
Yeah, I was told yesterday I should melt these down and bury them in the backyard. Yeah, but I'm excited.
I told Josh that he needed to burn his because he won gold because he had 2 people walk off on him. So he won 2 of his matches, but he won the other 2 by walkover. And I was like, well, that's not real gold. You just got to burn it then and make it all warped. But I don't even think you can warp these.
You can.
Lots and lots and lots of heat that we don't have access to.
Yeah, I only have a fire pit.
We can make it work.
Yeah. But yeah, I had great matches yesterday. Let's see, the guy I went against, he was a tough competitor. And I don't know, I followed the game plan and didn't really have an issue going through with the whole game plan.
Cool. Good story, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. But I won 1 match by points and then won the other 2 matches by submission, bow and arrow, and that was in gi. Mm-hmm. And then in no gi, it was a reverse triangle armbar dilemma that he tapped in the middle of both of them. Mm-hmm.
Because he knew he was done.
Because yeah, that's a tough shot to be in.
Yeah, but he was a little bit older, so this was Nick's first time in Masters. He just turned 30 in August, and it's October now. So he had always just competed in the adult division, but last night, he competed in the Masters division, which is 30 and up. And I think his opponent was bumped down to Masters because he was 42. And I believe Masters is from 30 to 40, right?
Yep. And then it's, I believe, senior 40 and up, and then executive 50 and up.
Wow.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, he was a tough competitor, and I made a new friend out of it, so
yeah,
that was cool. That's
very
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's from Indiana, so shout out Indiana. You're better than Illinois.
Uh-huh.
People are going to come to class just to hit you, watch.
Where's Fluid?
I can defend myself.
I welcome a challenge.
But yeah, he had gi and no gi divisions, and then it was the best 2 out of 3, so he won the first 2 out of the gi division, yep. And then, unfortunately, his opponent came up to him in the little area between the 2, and he was like, my neck is pretty messed up right now from that bow and arrow choke, so I'm gonna still do the first match with you in no-gi because I really want to give you a match because I know we're the only 2 in the bracket, but I'm just letting you know my neck is not good. So he did the first match, and then he lost, and then he just completely withdrew from the rest, and I think that was smart on his part. I don't even think he should have done no-gi in the first place if his neck was hurting.
He was hurting, no.
Yeah. But he said he did it out of, like, the kindness of his heart, because he's like, I want to give Nick a match. And I was like, well, you're going to die. Like, what are you doing?
And then Nick went and fucking choked him.
Yeah.
Oh, your neck hurts? Got you. Let me fix this for you.
You know, I was like, I could just, like, wrestler tight, crank on his neck. I was like, nah, it's so rude. No point for that.
He was so sweet, though.
Yeah.
And like you said, you made a new friend out of it, so that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
It wasn't like the bad beef where you're just like, well, next time.
Right. Yeah, but it was a really fun day at competition. And, yeah. Not much else to say about that. I mean, like, I have a game plan, and I followed my game plan to the T.
Yeah.
I didn't have to use my guard the entire day, which is kind of crazy.
You look at me like I know what you're talking about. I kind of know, but at the same time,
It's almost like you were in a Muay Thai match and you never had to block.
Oh, okay. You have to always block.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's all right. That's impressive.
Right. So, yeah, that was kind of... Yep, it was a good experience.
That's a really good analogy, actually, to someone who doesn't train.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was attacking and on top the entire time.
Yeah, like basically imagine being in the middle of a cage with someone on the outside the entire time. Like, that's how he was.
Yeah, but even the outside sometimes you're winning.
Sometimes.
The way he said it makes perfect sense. That one was perfect.
Yes. But yeah, so Muay Thai. What got you started in Muay Thai? How long have you been training?
Let's see. Muay Thai, I've been doing it over 15 years. Wow. I actually started with Taekwondo.
In Milwaukee?
Yeah, I started here.
Very cool.
Hold on, damn, it was a long time ago. I think I did Taekwondo maybe 3 years. I got to my first degree black belt.
Oh, cool.
And
I didn't know you were black belt.
Taekwondo,
yeah, I didn't know that either.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was very important to me, like, because just the way I grew up and where I came from, it was an accomplishment for me. Like, a lot of people, it's even though it was kind of like a McDojo, like, I was treated a little bit different along with a few other students that, like, the owner and the instructor who's from Korea, he just treated us like the way they treat you in Korea.
Okay.
So we got hit a lot. Yeah. And I loved it.
That's fantastic.
So like, I felt like I earned it. But then in Taekwondo, like, you can't be aggressive. So I would get disqualified and thrown out of tournaments.
Really?
Yeah. Because all of a sudden, like, I would throw hard kicks. Like, and I would punch a lot.
Yeah.
And
that seems like what you would do in a match.
Yeah, but in Taekwondo, you have your hands down, you're bouncing a lot, and you're just throwing kicks, and you flick, and you hit them. And they're hard, but not like...
knockout power? Yeah. It's like just touching for points?
And yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Excuse me. And then, so I would do my tournaments, and I instinctively would just kick with my shin. And they would tell you, no, that would hurt you. I'm like, that can actually hurt you more. So, and I would always naturally block with my legs. And they hated it. Like every time I would train with anybody, they hated me because I would block with my legs, and that was just before any Muay Thai. And then once at my last tournament, I got kicked out. Like I threw one kick and the guy flew like maybe 2 or 3 feet.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's probably exaggerating it, but
So like that Joe Rogan video?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I just threw a straight roundhouse and the guy just went up into the air and it kind of landed and his eyes lit up. Referee's like, out, you're out. It wasn't even a point. He's like, you're out. I was like, I got the point. And he's like, nope, you were way too aggressive.
Oh man.
So I walked out of the whole thing. I'm like, I'm done with this.
Wow, jeez. I did not know that about Taekwondo.
Yeah. Well, and some guys are aggressive though. Yeah. But for some reason they had it out for me, and maybe I was just a little too aggressive. Because I mean, I would lose the matches, but I would be the one walking out fine. They would be limping.
Yeah. So, how old were you when you were doing that?
Early 20s.
Okay.
19, 20, something like that.
Okay, cool.
Something like that.
How long did it take you to get your black belt in Taekwondo?
Like 3 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then in Jiu-Jitsu it takes 10. Averagely.
Yeah.
That's...
But even when I was there, though, I was there 6 days a week, 4 hours a day, because I even worked there.
Oh, cool.
Because I dedicated myself to that.
Yeah.
And then that's the same thing I did when I went over to Muay Thai.
Right.
When I transitioned over to Muay Thai, I was there 3-4 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Jeez.
In the first 2 weeks, I just remember, y'all, they just taught me how to stand, walk, and how to hold your hands. 2 weeks and hitting the bag, same thing. Mm-hmm. Jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. Mm-hmm. And you're doing it wrong. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. And
I know how that goes.
But it's like, I remember starting with, at the same day, like maybe like 10 of us started.
Cool.
And then we all kept doing the exact same thing. And then you got the guys that want to learn how to, show me how to throw an elbow, show me how to do this, show me how to do that. And I just did what I was told. And 2 of us ended up, like after 2 weeks, everybody else quit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
it was like a hazing.
Yeah, pretty much. And like places don't do that anymore because they want people to stay.
Yes.
But here, where I started, they were a little more like, if you don't want this, we don't want you here.
That makes sense.
So I kind of like that.
Yeah, so it seems like more of the martial arts side versus the business side.
Yeah, yeah.
Because businesses want people to stay.
Yes.
Regardless.
Yes.
And martial artists want to train with good martial artists.
Yep. And that's kind of that's the vibe I got at first, and that's how it was. And if you weren't dedicated to it, they didn't want you there.
Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense.
So what was it about those 2 weeks that got you to stay versus other people who quit? Like, what did you like about it?
I didn't like anything about it.
Oh.
It sucked. Doing the same thing over and over and over. It was boring.
So what made you stay?
I wanted to prove that I can do it.
There you go.
That's the whole thing. Like,
to F you to the man.
Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, yeah. Every time somebody quit, like, oh, you're going to quit just like them? Are you going to leave? Check shit.
No.
Wait till I earn a little more. I'm going to kick your ass.
Oh, jeez. Did you guys ever do any sparring in there? Or was it just...
Oh, yeah. It was a very tough place to be at. So we, like, after that, then I started teaching me more. And little by little, I started learning more, like, how to... And because of Taekwondo, my footwork was excellent. Mm-hmm. My kicks were pretty much spot on just because I transitioned very well with Taekwondo to Muay Thai. Mm-hmm. And they put me to spar almost within a month with some of the top guys just so someone could kick the shit out of me.
Yep.
And it was the other way around. Like, I was holding my own, so that's what got me to be... I ended up sparring a lot with some top guys to get them ready for fights or just with the team, even though I didn't fight till like maybe 5 years ago was when I actually started fighting. Mm. But I would train with all these guys. I always get people ready for their fights, so that made me a better martial artist and fighter, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Constantly getting your ass kicked by some guys who know how to kick ass.
That's the way it works in jiu-jitsu, yeah. You just get beat over and over, but you get better every time you get beat.
Yeah, that's exactly how I look at it. So I never minded. Like, I love them. Like, people would call me up, be like, "Hey, can you come over here? Like, I have a fight this whenever, and like, I need some help." And it was just to fight.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
And then you trained in Thailand, right?
Yep, I was in Thailand for a little over a month. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I bet that was a fun experience.
How long ago was that?
3 years now.
Wow.
Maybe 4. I don't remember.
Did they make you spend 2 weeks doing punches on the
No,
back?
I would have been pissed. I actually went to Thailand with a broken hand.
Oh my god.
I fought like, I think it was 3 weeks prior to going to Thailand. And I didn't even know I broke my hand. It just hurt.
Yeah. You punching.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I took like 2 or 3 weeks off after the fight.
Sure.
And then just went to Thailand. And I remember I walked into the gym. Like, I got there the first day. I got there like 4 in the morning. So, I went to the gym in the morning just to check it out. And there was a heavy bag there. And the first thing I do, like, you see a heavy bag, you hit it.
You punch it.
You hit the bag. Well, in Thailand, they're a little bit different.
Okay.
They're like, just, I want to say they're pretty much made out of sand, but they're rock hard. These things are like just bricks. So I walk up, I'm like, bam! Bag didn't move. Holy shit. My hand, I was in so much pain.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
That sucked. And then like over there at the gym I was at, you did 6 rounds on the bag, 6 rounds doing pad work.
Huh,
So,
we've done that with you before.
yeah, and all that hurts. Everything hurts. Like my hand was, I would get there, I would wrap my hand, and I would shove it into my glove, and I would not take it out until I was done.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the time I left, my hand was always swollen. I get home, I ice it, and then, because 4 hours later, you got to go back to training.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd go back, and it was fun. Well, they actually taught me how to punch with a broken hand.
Okay.
Like, because they kept seeing something was wrong, and I'm like, I don't know. So they took my glove off one day, and they're like, your hand's broken.
Like, oh.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so one guy is like, okay, like, you gotta, like, don't make a fist, do this, do that. Just, they showed me how to punch with my hand open. And I was like, this is very useful.
Wow.
Do you still use that technique today,
Yeah.
even though your hand's not broken?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I
cool.
bet.
Yeah, because I see it when you're like, when you don't have your gloves on and you're showing a technique, like you'll do this or you'll tap or something.
Yeah, but like even with that, it's like, it's just, you have your fingers loose because you don't need your fingers for shit. All you need is these knuckles.
Right.
As long as you have the same form with your hand, like it's still solid.
Yeah.
So you punch straight through instead of trying to hit with your fingers, which turns everything. So I'm like, yeah, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I know what I'm going to ask you next week.
Yeah. Like I can punch someone and be like, look, Judge, I didn't even have a fist. I didn't even make a fist. I didn't hit him. I have to delete this now?
I'll edit it out. Wow. So what's the biggest difference between like American Muay Thai and Thailand?
The clinching, the structure of the classes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, here, most places do an hour.
Yeah.
And if you have a class right after it, you got to cut it a little bit short. Over there, you're training for about 2 hours. And they want you to get there early to start warming up on your own. And
then you're ready for class.
Yeah, so...
We're super good at being early to your class.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
We normally show up like right on the dot at 6
No,
o'clock.
that'd be early. That would be early.
Hey.
You've been there early twice, like the last couple times. That's it.
I've been working on it.
Normally, I look at the clock and it's like, what, 6:06?
Lies.
6:06.
Lies. I always
I would
get there
start
for
taking
warm-ups.
pictures.
I would say that's when
warm-ups.
my wraps are on and I'm on the mat warming up.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what he does. He doesn't do the warm-ups. He skips them. I get there, I put down my bag, and I start running. He's like, let me lollygag and put on my wraps. And
You can't just like wrap your hands.
That's true, but you could just wrap them here before you leave.
It'll be later.
sorry, continue. You said classes go for, and after 2 hours, they want you to get there early.
Yeah, so like...
They want you to wrap your hands beforehand.
Oh, yeah. You get yelled at.
Yeah.
You get yelled at if you're just out on the side doing nothing. Like, a lot of times I would run from my apartment to the gym. And, like, all of the coaches and the trainers, they live in the same area I did. So they would see me run. So they would leave me alone when I got there. I don't have to do the warm-up if I run.
Sure.
But if you show up there and you don't do the warm-up, you get yelled at. and it's funny because you don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
But you know they're mad at you.
Yeah, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I saw a meme the other day, and it was like, I was late to soccer practice, so my dad made me run my coach made me run laps, but my coach is my dad, and my dad was the one who made me late. And I was like, oh yeah, that's something that my dad would do, 100%.
You're late, go run laps.
You're late. I don't care if your dad got you late.
Oh, that's so funny.
But like over there, the training is very... Here, like, you kind of got to think of what you want to teach. Mm-hmm. Because it's pretty much 1 or 2 instructors. Over there, the classes are so big, there's at least 15 trainers.
Wow.
So when you show up, the trainers are like, all right, that person are mine.
Okay.
So, and then you'll have 2 trainers that are walking up and down while you're hitting the bags. So what they're doing, at least that's the gym I was at.
Mm-hmm. What gym was it?
Simbi Muay Thai in Phuket, in Rawai, Phuket. And
awesome.
So they would walk up and down, and so the 6 rounds, 6 3-minute rounds on the bag, you have to be doing something. If you don't, they come yell at you.
You can't just stand there and look at the bag and breathe.
But what I love about it is that as you're doing it, if you're doing something wrong, they'll come over and teach you how to do something, whatever they're doing.
Sure.
So then there's that, right? And then when you go do the pad work, it's up to that trainer that is with you. So they tailor it to you. So like they'll have you like do some random shit. They pay a lot of attention when you're shadow boxing. If they see you doing something wrong or something they don't like, that's what they're gonna work on with you.
Oh,
that's
cool. Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's what.
Is that why we shadow box every day? Because you want to see.
You need to shadow box because you need to shadow box. But yes, I like to see where people are at to see where people are doing, what they can do, what they can't do. Okay. Especially when there's new people, I want to see what they. A lot of people love to show up and be like, I've been doing this for 10 years, and then you shadow box and like you haven't been doing this for a day. If you can't shadow box, you can't do it. You haven't done it. Because even the people who are just starting, when they shadow box, they look a little different. They're just doing this.
Yeah.
But they're trying.
Yes.
And the ones that tell me that they've been doing it for 10 years and don't know what they're doing, I'm sorry.
They have like zero rhythm.
Yeah.
Random things going out in the hair.
They have like this and they're doing all this. I'm like, why are you dancing? This is a dance battle, bro. Like, stop that.
That's funny because that's how our 6-year-old is in our kids' kickboxing classes. He'll just have on his gloves that are way too big for him because he has to use the gyms instead of his own. Yeah. And he's here and he's just... Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
Or they look like Ben Askren trying to box.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So...
that's cool. So you get like many private lessons in Thailand.
Yeah, pretty much.
With every class.
Yeah, it's all, and each trainer is very different. Because there's different styles of Muay Thai. Like, there's the aggressive ones that love to punch more. There's the ones that love to throw elbows. There's the ones that love clinching. There's the ones that love to throw knees.
I know which one you are.
I'm a little bit of all of them, but I love knees.
I know you love knees.
I like kicks.
Yeah.
My God, Heather's hip. She showed me that. I was like, oh my goodness.
That was funny.
Nick was funny too because he was like, she was stressing about her kicks the entire way home too. She was thinking that she was terrible at them. And I'm like, oh my God. I was working with...
And you beat her up. That's horrible.
I was working with a girl in our gym named Heather, and she's relatively new to both Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, but she was holding the pads for kicking for me, and I just felt like I wasn't turning my hip enough the entire time, and so I was getting really frustrated. And then the next day she was like, hey, remember how you thought your kicks weren't good? And then she lifts up the side of her shirt and she shows me she just has this black and blue like bruise on her hip, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
That was funny.
And then she had to ask you if she was holding them right, which she was. And then you had to tell her, like, no, she was just kicking through the pad. It's cool. It's fine.
I mean, you can still turn your hips a little more. But...
I could. I'm working on it.
I've done that to Gustavo with leg kicks, with the kick shield.
Yeah.
Just through the shield, and then the next day, just got a big bruise on his thigh.
But that's how you know you did it right.
I had a bruise on my ab from him with the knees.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago. Like, just right here, it was a little black mark. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, I think we also need to get some belly pads for everyone.
That'd be fun.
Like, because knees do go through those Thai pads. And that's one thing over in Thailand. Everybody had a belly pad on because the knees go through. And at least that'll protect a little more.
Because they're a little bit thicker, right? Like more plasticky almost, where you can knock on them.
I've never worn them when they're brand new.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta break them in.
Yeah, because you use belly pads, but you also use Thai pads.
Yeah.
So they all work together.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I have a couple different belly pads. One doesn't fit right now, but
it's
shrunk. The damn thing shrunk.
I think so. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I guess one of the main reasons that we wanted to talk about Muay Thai today, though, is just because we're clearly on episode 35, and for 34 episodes we've been talking strictly about jiu-jitsu, but Muay Thai is a very, very, very big part of our week too.
Yes.
Where we're there twice a week for the most part, unless something crazy happens, but we're there Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's an hour, and it's a really good workout, and it benefits our training in jiu-jitsu to a point where I think it's an advantage for us over others. Because it gets our cardio so prepared. It's such a great,
you build a lot of things in Muay Thai. I'd say you build a lot of balance, you build hand-eye coordination. Footwork. But the biggest thing you build is cardio and like digging deep and adding power to things when you're devastatedly tired. Mm-hmm. And using technique with your body while you're like, breathing with your, like you can't breathe. I can't describe words right now.
Yeah. You learn how to get hit.
That's another thing.
Because even if you're holding pads, you feel the kicks.
That's true. Yeah, but in jiu-jitsu, you don't have to worry about that.
But you might. You might accidentally headbutt somebody.
This is true.
So you know how to take a hit.
Yeah. But yeah, it helps jiu-jitsu a lot, and that's the number one thing that people ask, like, what kind of workouts do you do that help you out with jiu-jitsu? I always say Muay Thai. Mm-hmm. That's the number one answer I give.
Yeah, even at the Jeff Glover seminar, he asked everyone as a group, he said, what do you do outside of jiu-jitsu to make your jiu-jitsu better? And people were just like, I do yoga, or I stretch, or I just try to eat well, or things like that. And I was like, I do Muay Thai. Like, that's what helps a lot.
Muay Thai helped me tremendously with hip flexibility also.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Yeah.
Although I know some great Muay Thai fighters and kickboxers that they can't touch their toes.
Okay.
And they'll be here, they'll be like, this is as far as I can go, bro. But all of a sudden they'll flick their leg and they kick over your head.
Yeah.
Like they have that. They're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, those are different parts of your body too.
Yeah.
As you would know.
Yeah.
Because Gabe is also a licensed massage therapist with his own therapy business. Mm-hmm. And he massages everybody from whoever wants massage all the way up to professional fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they want massage too. It's not just who wants them. And whoever I'm going to grab. Hey, you need a massage, bro. They all want massages. Like, don't listen to him. Making it sound weird, man.
Do you want a massage? Do you want a massage?
Even if you don't want one. That's what you made it sound like. Hey.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant for everybody, they can get a massage, but all the way up to...
Yeah, I work with regular everyday people to professional fighters. Mm-hmm. That's what I work with.
What would you say is the biggest benefit of getting a massage when you work in martial arts?
Well, I do a little bit different than normal places. Mm-hmm. So, like, I do all the regular stuff, which is like the Swedish massage, the relaxation, and like the deep tissue, all that stuff. But I focus more on neuromuscular therapy, which is soft tissue and pain, dysfunction. So I target special areas. Mm-hmm. If something hurts, I try to figure out why and target those muscles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he pokes your nerve and makes you go...
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
I felt that.
Yeah, but then after that, you're like, oh, it's gone. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you do lots of research and ask a bunch of your friends too. Like when I have my chest problem, you're like, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm going to find out.
Yeah. I mean, I won't lie. I won't try to make it up. I will. There's lots of different things I can look up. So I always research everything. If I can't figure it out, I'm gonna definitely try. Mm-hmm. I have colleagues that I can always hit up and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And like I like to help people. I want, whether you're just going to work or you are going to go compete, I want you to do the best that you can and be the best that you can. Mm-hmm. And if I can help them do that,
it's a win.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know when my arm was messed up from an armbar I didn't tap to in competition that I should have. You had worked on it a few times, and instead of like working on my elbow, I remember you were like digging up in my armpit, and that was weird, but super beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, because it hurts here doesn't mean it's coming from here.
Mm-hmm.
Our bodies the muscles are all connected. Like a lot of times, what I've seen is like somebody has some like shoulder or hip issues, and it's actually stemming from an ankle. Like something like they roll their ankle, so all of a sudden they're putting all their weight on one leg. Mm-hmm. So that's causing pain over here, and because they're all twisted, that's causing pain over here. So everything is connected.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love to do, and one of the things that I've learned when going to Florida for all the classes that I take is you have to look at the big picture. You can't just look at what the small thing. Like that, okay, yes, your shoulder hurts. Yeah, yes, I can massage it and it's going to feel good for 20 minutes. But if I can't figure out exactly why it's hurting, it's going to come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a good analogy for that. There's a symptom, but then there's a disease, right? And you want to treat the disease. And the symptoms, they can always stem from many different diseases. Yeah. So, figuring out what the disease is.
Like when I used to work as quality inspector, I did root cause analysis. Like when something would go wrong, I needed to figure out why. And I love it because that taught me how to do this. Yeah. That really taught me like, all right, just follow the damn chain. Like just follow the link and you'll find it. You'll figure it out. You just have to follow it. Yeah. And I didn't like that job. I hated it. It was a thankless job. People hated me because I had to call the customers and be like, hey, we messed up your stuff. Okay. And they'll be like, why? I'm trying to figure that out right now.
But just so you know.
Yeah. So like the president and the CEO of the company hated me, like my company, like because I had to like be like, hey, we have to give these people like $20,000 in credit. Yeah. And like the other people would hate me because we ruined their stuff. So like I hated that job. But it helped me out. It really did. Like it really.
A good mindset.
Yeah, it was a root cause analysis. I had to like, this is what happened. How did it happen? Yeah. And that's what I did, and it was awesome.
That's how I live my life. Pretty gets annoyed every day.
You trying to figure out why?
I try to figure out everything.
Well, why is it figure it out for you why you're annoyed?
Seriously, for like 3 months, he went around asking everyone. He's like, "What is ranch?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know what ranch is." And then he's
Do you know what ranch is?
It's a farm.
That's a good answer.
It's a type of house. But he just kept asking everyone, and they're like, "Why don't you just Google it?" He's like, "Well, that's not fun."
Why is it called a ranch house?
I don't know.
Steve?
He does this probably once a week. He just picks one random thing, and then he goes, "What is that? Why is it like this?" And every time I'm like, "Please don't do this. Please stop."
In a few years, why are you divorced? We're gonna play this video back and like, damn. We're gonna root cause analysis of that.
That's so
oh my goodness!
I'm just joking, by the way.
For now.
Remember this episode 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know where you're thinking. I still do that every day.
But that's how I do it. That's how every time I run into someone that has an issue, like, and it's funny because a lot of times I'll work on somebody and I'll like you said this hurts, and I'm looking at other areas and everyone's like, no, I said this hurts, and I'm like, I understand that, but you're not doing it. I'm like, just let me do what I do.
Trust the process, okay?
I remember that too, because when I had that injury in my chest, you were working all on my shoulder and the back, and I was like, what are you doing? Yeah. I remember thinking like, okay, I trust you. You can do whatever you want, but I never expected that.
Yeah, I mean, because everything, like sometimes like some of the back issues come from your abs. So sometimes I'll work right here, and people are like, why are you even doing that? It's like, well, give me like 5 minutes and let me know if your back hurts. Yeah. And vice versa. Sometimes it hurts here and it's up from your back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the human body is insanely crazy and complex. We still don't know everything.
Isn't it like we only know 10% of the brain? How only 10% of the brain works? Some crazy low number like that?
I don't know. I'll research that and let you know.
Okay.
The fallacy with that is that we're only using 10% of our brain as consciousness. And people say that there's 90% of brain happenings that we're not consciously using. But I think that was just...
I think I saw something, and I don't remember where I saw it, so it might have been on Facebook, so you know how true that is.
Was there a fact checker on it?
Oh, there might have been.
Related articles.
Yeah. The president stuff might have been on the bottom of it too, so I don't know how true this is. But it's something about like we use a lot more of our brain than it was originally thought. Especially like when we're sleeping or something like that. that they were taking scans and it looked like we use a lot more. But I don't know.
Yeah,
like
a
I
lot
said, it
more
might have been on
neurons.
Facebook. It might have even been on Snapchat. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember in my 7th grade science class, my teacher had told us that your dreams only last for an average of 2 seconds. Like, you have multiple dreams throughout the night, and they are on average 2 seconds long.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in 7th grade when I learned that, and I remember just being like, no way. Like, there's no way.
Yes.
So that's some weird stuff going on in your brain, too. But then when I think about it, I'm like, maybe those are just thoughts that you have in your brain that you're kind of putting all together in a dream, and it's just 2-second long thoughts over, like, just throughout the entire night. Because there's no way a dream lasts 2 seconds. I have dreams that feel like they last forever.
What if they just play fast forward in your brain?
That's weird.
Yeah, there's a video, a TED Talk I recently watched, which I loved. But it's basically everything that we're experiencing in life is a hallucination that we understand, because ultimately it's all coming through our senses and then it's being processed by our brain.
Kind of like that people say that we're in a video game or a movie.
Right, a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a simulation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point, how do we really know?
I don't know. And I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I do. If I sit here and think about it, I'm not going to live my life. So I'm going to live my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's a video game or not, it's still real to me.
Yeah. Yeah, but brains are crazy.
Yeah.
And so is the body.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah.
You just got licensed, though, right? Like in 2021?
Yeah. April, I think.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So,
What's your Instagram for people to follow you? And Facebook?
This. Zoom in when you get a
Healthy
chance.
Body Massage and Therapeutics.
Yeah. I don't know what the handle and all the other stuff is. But
I'll
just
put it
look
in.
that
I'll
up.
put it in the links for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll
Yes.
find me. You'll find me. You can just find me by name, by me, and then all my stuff is attached to my stuff. So.
I know Adam wants to work with you, the Tuesday instructor, because he came in and he said that he really needs massages or chiropractic therapy or things
that's
like
right.
that. And I was like, well, you know, Gabe, the Muay Thai instructor, he's a massage therapist. He's like, really? Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to hit him up. So expect him to reach out.
Yeah. I mean, and
I
because
always
of what
refer
I
people
do.
to you.
Yeah, and thank you for that. Because of what I do, like, my business has picked up a lot these last couple of months.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of people that do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that other massage therapists aren't good. They're good at what they do, but
You're good at what you do.
yeah, because I've done Muay Thai, because I've trained, and the little jiu-jitsu that I've done, I understand how the body moves. So that's why a lot of my clients are actually a lot of athletes, a lot of competitors who are hurting because whatever they did.
Yeah.
And
Because martial arts is weird as fuck to your body.
Yeah, and it helps me figure out exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Like, I'll ask them, like, all right, what did you do? And they'll be like, well, I did this. And I don't know a lot of the jiu-jitsu stuff, but I'll be like, all right, just kind of show me what the move was. And when they show me, I'm like, all right, I know exactly what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So then I know what muscles to go after. And
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a cool skill.
It's highly specialized
Yes.
massage therapy.
yes.
With your brand of massage therapy, but also your martial arts knowledge.
Yeah.
Putting that all together, I think puts you as a top percentage in the world of expertise
Yes.
in that field, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I love to learn.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what. Like, I love what I'm doing when I go to Florida. I love what I learn there, but I take a little bit from somewhere else and a little bit from over here, and I put it all together and do my own thing with it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Because I'm not one of those that be like, this is the best way to do it. No, there's always more ways to figure it out and make it better.
Yeah.
And one of your best clients is a UFC fighter, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Massage often to get her ready for her fights?
Yep. I have UFC fighters. I have top level jiu-jitsu guys.
Mm-hmm.
World-class jiu-jitsu guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have, like, one of my favorite clients is actually an 85-year-old man. Because he was hurting just to get in bed. Just to get into bed hurt him.
Dang.
And just a couple of sessions, and his wife actually, I saw her like a few weeks after I saw him, and she's like, he's so much better. Like, and she's like, and I know because he can get in bed, he can get on and off the couch, he can lay down without being in pain.
That's fantastic.
And I'm like, that's what I want.
That's gonna make you feel so good
Yeah,
too.
like, and that's exactly what I want. I want to help people, whether it's fighting or just living your life. I want it to be painless.
Yeah.
Unless
That's
it's Muay
fantastic.
Thai and then you just want to inflict.
Well, yeah, that's different. I'm gonna hurt you. Call me
no.
after. I got you.
What a good plan. You're going to pay me for both.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to learn jujitsu, too. I'm going to start breaking people's arms or at least hyperextending them. See me after. I got you.
Yeah, you should definitely try that rubber guard.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
We've been trying to get Gabe into jiu-jitsu for a while now.
I've been saying I'm going to go for like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, any other place I've gone to wants me to do jiu-jitsu, and I just won't.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is different.
Well, every time I've ever done jiu-jitsu, to be honest, I get hurt.
Yeah.
And getting hurt in jiu-jitsu took away from me being in Muay Thai.
Right.
So all of a sudden, I couldn't spar. I couldn't train with my guys. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing jiu-jitsu. Now I just do it. I don't do it because I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like you're going to go compete in like any jiu-jitsu or MMA or anything.
No.
But you think about fighting Muay Thai still?
Yeah, I want to at least get one more fight in. I really do want to try jiu-jitsu. It's just that every time I tell myself I'm going to, I don't.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's... I don't know why.
I know someone who can help you with that.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What?
I'm still not going to listen. I'm very hard-headed that way. And I don't know why. Well, and then...
You know that's what Nick does, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
That's what, I'm trying to avoid it.
For those of you who don't know, you want to explain what you do?
Oh, life coach?
Mm-hmm.
Help people set goals and
Josh
hold them
is rolling
accountable
his
to
eyes
it.
at you right now, saying life coach.
Life coach is the easiest term to get people. If I tell people I'm a habit coach, they're like, what is that?
I mean, drug dealers are habit coaches too. To put it that way, I mean...
Yep. Yeah.
Well, you're a good habit coach.
That's right. Break down bad habits, build up good habits.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm thinking about trying a Muay Thai fight sometime. I think that would be fun.
We are never around for the pancreations. It's really annoying. Like this next one, we're going to be in Vegas for the World's competition next month. Mm-hmm. It's on that Sunday, and we get back Monday.
And I like pancreation. I think pancreation is more suited for kids. As an adult, and if you want to, I mean, it's a good way to start to know if you want to get hit,
right?
And it's a good way to not get hit in the head, and all that stuff. And I get it, but that's to me, it's not being realistic. Like if you actually want to fight, you're gonna get hit in the head.
Yeah,
and
it's a stepping stone.
Yeah, it is a stepping stone, but it's not a realistic one. At least to me, I get why adults want to do pancreation. I really do because I mean. Head trauma is very serious. It doesn't take a lot to get hurt. Mm-hmm. So if it's not something that people don't really want to take seriously, definitely go and do pancreation. But if it's something that you think you might want to do, I would say go do an amateur Muay Thai fight, where you're still gonna get hit in the head, but you're not gonna take elbows, you're not gonna take knees to the head. But you're still gonna get punched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what about people who want to grapple and strike?
Then pancreation is the best one.
Yeah, because I mean,
and not get hit, right in the head.
Yes. Because I was going to say, obviously, my skill set...
MMA.
Sure. Yeah. But you still get hit in the head in MMA, obviously.
Yes. In amateur MMA, you still get hit. It is pretty much the same. You get everything except for elbows.
Okay.
And knees, I think.
And probably not knees to the head.
No knees to the head, no elbows to the head.
Yeah. I have no idea how to get into stuff like that, but I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I would say I have a grappling heavy skill set, but I'm also not terrible as I feel in Muay Thai.
And the thing is, like, if you want to... Like, you know you're good at jiu-jitsu. And if you want to do MMA, test out the stuff that you know you're not good at.
Right.
So, instead of just trying to combine it all, go do one thing at a time.
That makes sense.
Like, you already do jiu-jitsu tournaments. Go do a couple of Muay Thai fights or kickboxing fights.
Yeah.
And then from there, you can decide if you want to do an MMA one or not.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Instead of, like, putting all of it on at once. Because that's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot more complex.
How do you do on the MMA rolls at the gym? You do okay? Or do you feel like you kind of go blank a little bit?
I do pretty good.
So every last Friday of the month we do no-gi, and then at the end when we're rolling, we put on our gloves and we start doing MMA rolling. So you do jiu-jitsu, but also with punches.
Yeah.
You just don't punch the face.
The first time we did it, Nick and I were just rolling, and then he got up onto a knee on belly, and then he just started, like, hitting me over and over and over. And I was sitting there like, oh my god! Like, I thought I knew this stuff, and I'm terrible.
It's so different.
Yeah. Like, everything in my mind just went completely blank. I'm like, I know I trained jiu-jitsu, and I know I trained Muay Thai, but I was not prepared for two of them together.
Yeah, you just, like you said, knee on belly or mount, you just, okay, pop, 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 pop. And then they just start to block, and then you just armbar them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my God. It's wildly different.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I do okay with that. But that's because nobody else is used to getting hit in general at jiu-jitsu.
So that'd be a good class for you to actually come to if you wanted to. Like, ease in because you can do the punching because you know how to do the punching.
I feel like it's harder.
I don't know.
It's a no-gi day, too.
I don't know, maybe. Like, a lot of the jiu-jitsu classes that I actually took before were no-gi, and they were MMA classes. So
Makes sense.
So it was a lot of jiu-jitsu with MMA in it, and so that's a lot of the stuff that I did before. But again, didn't do a lot of it. I would do 1 or 2, and then I'd get hurt, and then I wouldn't do it for like 3 years.
Yeah.
I remember you just did a beginner class, what was it, a year ago, with the triangle, and then you hurt your lower back, and then that's the last time I saw you.
Yep. I get hurt. I get hurt. And that's the thing, though, is I guess, even if I'm in shape or I'm as big as I am now, no matter what, I always got hurt. It didn't matter.
It's very interesting.
You're probably very tense.
Oh, I know I am.
I
need you to work on me.
So you're probably just like,
I need you to work on me, and me's busy.
Oh, yeah. Very interesting.
But like the few times that I have done jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai has actually helped me stay relaxed. Like, I watch a lot of people that are just starting out and
Oh my God.
like getting all crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't grab me.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is kind of like a little clinch. I'm gonna just sit here for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like to think of Muay Thai sweeps as jiu-jitsu sweeps standing up on the feet. I think there's a lot of connection between a lot of martial arts that we all don't
Yeah, I agree.
realize.
I agree. And it's just that a lot of different martial arts like to think that they're better than other ones.
Right.
And I'm a big believer that you should know multiple stuff.
Yeah.
That's what MMA is, and that's honestly what a fight is.
Absolutely.
If you actually get into a fight outside in the streets, the first thing they're going to try to do is throw a sucker punch at you and then take you down.
Yeah, and then they're going to try to tackle you.
Yeah. But that's the first
it.
thing they do is sucker punch, take you down.
Yes.
So if you can avoid that sucker punch, you can knock them out. And if you do get taken down, if you know what you're doing, just knee on belly and punch them in the face.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
It really is. It honestly is. With people who don't know what they're doing out there, it's not hard. But the problem with that is these fools, they just throw as hard as they possibly can. So you're taking a chance by trying to eat one of their punches.
Right.
Thankfully, I've never been in a street fight in my life.
Me either. They were mostly inside. They weren't on the street.
So do you
That's funny.
think, I know you said that transitioning from Taekwondo to Muay Thai was a good transition for you, just with the footwork and everything, but how do you think that has helped you with the rest of your martial art experience? Like, besides the transition, do you use your Taekwondo in any other scenario?
Like outside of?
No, but just like in your Muay Thai now, or even, it has like those...
But not right now because I got heavy and I can't really move like I used to, but the technique is there. Like Muay Thai doesn't really have, a lot of spinning stuff. So we don't spin and throw kicks.
Okay.
I can.
I just don't know about Taekwondo at all. That's what I was asking. Like, I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, it's quicker. Like the kicks come faster.
Imagine Stephen Wonderboy.
Yeah.
But no, he's a little karate-ish.
Same thing.
But
It's pretty much
That's very Taekwondo. You know how he's sideways? He's always bouncing. It's like...
Yeah.
For you Taekwondo people and karate people, I know it's not the same thing, but it kind of is. Fight me.
Not in the street, inside somewhere.
It's too cold now. I don't fight outside when it's cold.
But yeah, that's like a Taekwondo style.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of how Valentina fights too. Like, just very...
Shevchenko? No, she's
She's very on her
Muay Thai.
feet though, bouncy. I guess that's what I'm picturing.
She's a dancer. She was a dancer, so she's very. That's transitioned to help her, I believe. But she was in Phuket. She trains in Phuket at Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Which is not the same place I was at, but like in 30 minutes north from where I was at.
Okay.
I'd say Valentina is just so like sharp with everything that it looks almost like karate or Taekwondo, but I think it's very Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skill.
Yeah.
Technique.
Yes.
But it does move the way that people would move in Taekwondo on a set rhythm. But she's so good at disrupting that rhythm.
Whoa.
Oh.
Mood lighting.
Not that kind of video, bro.
We were talking about Valentina. Everybody got hot and bothered.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry about that.
I need to get paid for one of those.
Yeah. But yeah, Valentina, she's so sharp.
I love her.
She's phenomenal to watch. I love watching her fight.
I think her sister's really good.
Yeah,
Stand
Antonia.
up. Yeah,
Shevchenko.
Antonina. Yeah, she's really good stand up. I know she lost her last fight, but it was I think she got taken down or something.
It was still an impressive fight though. Like
I didn't get to see it, but I know that I think she lost it.
I'm pretty sure we watched that one. I know I've seen her fight and I've always been impressed with the way she moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always very close to winning. But like there's always something that happens. She loses.
Yeah.
Which is the fight game.
Yep, exactly.
Especially in MMA.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what is it like being a Muay Thai coach for you? Do you like it? Like, do you like coaching new people or advanced people or just all people?
Depends on the people.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I saw a post yesterday on Facebook, and it wasn't about Muay Thai, it was about Jiu-Jitsu, and it said, if you could teach only one class to a specific set of students, who would you want to teach? And it was like advanced, or white belts, or kids,
the ones who want to
or...
learn.
That's a
I
good way
hate
to put
the
it.
people that
Think they know everything.
they know. Yeah, the ones that know, the ones that aren't coachable.
Yeah.
They think they know everything they want, and they want to show off to the coach. When motherfucker, I told you to do a jab cross. What's the point of doing all this extra shit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that you know how to do all this. I want to see if you can follow directions.
Yeah. I have seen that.
Yeah, and if you can't follow directions, you're not going to be a good fighter. You're just not coachable.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's the people that want to learn, that question things, but also take what I'm telling you and try it. I'm not saying my way is the one and only way, because hell no.
Right.
There's a lot of great Muay Thai guys out there that I would love to learn from, but some people nowadays, I took 2 classes over here. I know what I'm doing.
Oh,
All right, cool, good for you. Don't ask me anything.
I remember a person who did that too.
Yeah. So, so the people that I always want to train are the ones that want to learn.
Yeah, or you get that, well, I learned it this way. My coach over here told me this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what, bitch? You're here.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
Or when they say that, and I've trained at these places, where they say they learned or something. No, nobody taught you how to do it that way, because I learned there.
You're a liar.
Well, this is new. Like, no, this is gonna get you punched in the face.
When did that change?
Yeah. like we're not reinventing the damn wheel here. We're just showing you how to do this.
Oh yeah, and it's always something simple
Yes,
that they
it
argue
really is.
on.
It really is.
It's never anything that's like an advanced move that people are like, oh no, that's not gonna work. It's
The biggest thing is
Simple
I've
stuff.
had a problem with that in, like, blocking.
okay, yeah.
Like, I tell them, don't block this way. Like, you're gonna get hit. Well, over here, like, okay, like, all right, let me show you something. I mean, I'm gonna throw a punch at you. I'm not gonna throw it hard, but I want you to block the way you're blocking. You get hit. Oh, it's because you didn't give me enough time. It's like, all right. Like, I'm
Okay.
done with you. Like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, just go over there.
Yeah.
Hit the bag.
Yeah. And even then, they have a problem with it. They didn't.
Yeah.
So again, to answer your question,
That's
people
a
who
good
want to
answer.
learn, that is the ones I want to teach.
That's good.
To ask questions, but also don't get on my nerves.
That's good.
What about the ones who are hard to coach, but you see so much potential? How does...
Hard to coach in what way?
So, like, I'm kind of relating it to our kids' class. We have kids in our class, and kids are much different than adults. Their attention span is not quite there, but there's definitely kids who, if they do the move, and when I see them do the move, they're doing it right, but then it's like as soon as you turn your back, then they're goofing off and falling around, and
I think it's a kid thing, probably.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It just makes me mad because I'm like, I know you can do this, and I don't know why you're not doing
And with
this.
kids, to teach a kid, it would be more one-on-one. And it wouldn't be like an hour session. It would be like, we're doing 30 minutes, you're going to focus, and we're done. And I have fun, but at the same time, I'm trying to teach you how to do something right. So with kids, I'm very different, which is why my own kids didn't like training with me.
Okay.
Because I'm very strict. I don't yell, but I also don't let you just mess around. Which is why you have to cut them short. Like, you can't do long sessions with kids.
Yep.
Right.
And that's why you need more of a privatized lesson. Because once you pay attention to one kid, the other 3 kids are like,
Yes.
He's not looking at me.
Yep. Yeah, and and with kids, and going back to Thailand, kids over there are very different than here. And it might be just because like money situations and stuff like that, but like over there, the kids, man, those kids can kick those bags.
Yeah.
Like I was watching this one kid, maybe like 8, 9 years old, and he's kicking that bag. And like I said, these are like concrete bags.
I know.
And I have videos of me kicking it, and like you barely see a dent in it.
Okay.
This kid's kicking it, fold. I'm like, what
Perfect
the fuck?
technique.
I'm like, that's a soft bag. So I walk up to it, bam, doesn't move. I'm like, and the kid looked at me. He just looked at me and smiled. I'm like, oh, I hate you.
I love watching those videos of those kids that are just so fast with like the pad work, and they're like,
Yeah.
That's awesome to see.
I would love to see a kid like that. But you got to see it in them. Like, yes, you might see something in them that they want, they have the potential to do stuff. But if they don't want to, they're not going to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to meet a kid that wants to.
Yes.
We have a couple really good kids in our class who you just see them growing exponentially. And it's really fun to watch them spar. And typically we put them together so that they can work on their technique instead of just being with someone who's going to be a floppy fish. That's the way I put them.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Well, I think that's about our hour here.
Well, I was going to ask you one thing more. What's it like being in an actual Muay Thai fight?
Oh, yeah.
I've only done amateur fights, to be honest.
Okay. But still, like, most people in the world have not even gotten close to that.
And for me to, I guess, even say that it was a real Muay Thai fight, I would have to be Thailand. You have to fight in Thailand to say it's a real Muay Thai fight.
Okay.
Because over here, when you fight Americans or anyone that's not Thai, it's more of a kickboxing match, to be honest. Because it's very, let's go. Everyone just wants to knock each other out.
Okay.
Over there, it's like a ceremony before every fight. You walk into the ring, you have to walk around, you have to do your like it's like a dance, but it's for your instructors. You're dancing for them.
Okay.
The white crew, and I think that's what it's called. I can't remember now.
All right.
But so you do that, and then from there you go you bow to everyone. Then you fight, and it's a very slow paced fight.
Okay.
At first, because over there they fight a lot that you don't really want to hurt each other.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to win the fight. If you knock them out, you knock them out.
Yeah.
But they're trying not to hurt each other because they might have to fight 2 days later. That's the only way they make money.
That makes sense.
But they're playing music at the same time. Live music is playing. And
Okay.
So it's a very, like, I've been to the fights over there, and it's a very different experience in here.
I want to go. Let's go next weekend.
To Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go. They're not even
down.
allowing people in for tourists right now.
And they just opened up the fights. They weren't having any fights for a while.
Oh my god.
So they just started that again. So
It's crazy.
I want to go.
let's go next week.
I want to
I'm
go
down.
kick some concrete bags too.
I'm down. I just gotta.
I do want to go to Thailand. Thailand and Iceland are my top 2 of 3.
I want to go next year because I want one more fight, and I want to fight in Thailand.
Okay.
And I want to do. I mean, if people want to come with me, I'm down with that. If
In
people don't,
2022?
yeah, like April, because there's a ceremony or something going on in April, like a festival.
Oh.
It's like a water fight festival.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. I've never been there for it. I've only seen videos of people that I know that send it to me, and it's just they close off the street, and people are just throwing water balloons, water guns, and all that stuff. Everyone's just having a great time.
Wow.
That sounds fantastic.
So I want to go there for that and fight and train.
Wow.
And,
We should set up a Thailand Jiu-Jitsu Muay Thai camp.
I mean, Tiger Muay Thai and Phuket Top Team over there, they do MMA and
Right.
all Jiu-Jitsu. I won't go there. I'll go back to Simbi, but
I bet you
But-
Josh and Charles Harriet have some Globetrotter recommendations.
That's what I'm saying. We know some people who do some things. Oh yeah. Anyways, I like to think out loud sometimes.
that's the best way to think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
He
very
used to
cool.
have a spreadsheet where every day
I
he
still
would write
do.
down 10 ideas, like just random ideas, no matter how outrageous they were. Whether it was like an idea of like, I'm going to own a unicorn, or something like...
Okay, that's not very realistic. I think my last idea was become a model.
What?
Let's do it.
He just
Yeah.
wrote down 10 ideas.
Let's do it.
Just
Yeah.
like,
Like model some like rash guards or something, or I don't know. I could be a model.
Let's do it.
I was talking to a model on an Uber ride, and I was like, maybe I could try that. Why not? Anyways, random ideas.
Well, it was fun having you on.
Yeah, I appreciate having you on. It's fun talking to you.
Me here.
Thanks for coming over today.
And I always appreciate all the great Muay Thai instruction I get from you.
Yes.
I like to hit people. And I like to watch people hit people.
Fantastic.
Especially being like, I taught them that.
I learned so much.
It's really fun. I look forward to Muay Thai class.
Yeah, I love it. I love going from Muay Thai to Jiu-Jitsu. My favorite days of the week used to be Tuesdays and Thursdays because of that.
Now it's not. I love Muay Thai so much, but not anymore.
No, I don't have a favorite day of the week anymore. Right now. It's weird.
Tuesday, I like Tuesday a lot just because we hit pads.
Yeah.
I like hitting as hard as I can.
Yeah, but I remember, back when I worked at Stonefire, my favorite days were Thursdays because I would work the hardest. I would have 6 a.m. and then I had to have Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
But nowadays I just work like that all the time, so I love every day. So yeah.
There you go.
Mr. Optimism over here.
I know. I just realized that.
Well, there you go. Now you know what days you love.
Yeah.
All of them.
Every day I wake up. The best day to live. Okay, well, on that note, appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to drop his links in the description so that we can all go follow him. And everybody, go get a massage from Gabe.
Yes.
Whether you want to or not.
Thanks for listening, guys.